Dele, thank you so much for joining us. How are you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I mean, it's an unusual situation. You've not had that much time off, probably, since you started playing football. So you're finding so much spare time. How are you finding it? How are you keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, it's been difficult. Like you said, it's obviously the longest I feel like I've had off in terms of not training, like going to the training ground and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say it's been a good break because obviously it was so unexpected and I'm missing playing. So just trying to find ways to keep myself entertained and stay fit. So.
And what about keeping yourself entertained, keeping yourself fit? What have you got a program for the manager? How are you managing to do that right now?
Yeah, so we've been doing like a Zoom session every morning at 11 o'clock, it's been good because I think obviously it keeps us in a routine as well. And so you have to get up early and obviously trying to just eat well and do them sessions because they've been tough, but obviously it's good to see all the boys every day. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, so everyone comes on, everyone sort of says hello. So it's like a virtual chat really, like probably what we're doing now, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like this, but just obviously with the whole team and then the sports staff take the session and everyone just follows it on the treadmills and using the gym equipment we have that they sent out to our houses. So yeah, it's good obviously to stay in touch with all the lads. So it's all right.
So no Joe Wicks. You're not be doing the old Joe Wicks one in the morning.
Nah, none of that.
Yeah. My little kid's obsessed by that, by the way, Dele. He gets up every morning. It's brilliant. Some of the things that have come about, obviously, during this period, it's such a difficult time and for everybody concerned. But some of the initiatives, some of the way that people train and on Instagram, keeping themselves busy, I think that's almost what's kept people going to a certain extent.
Yeah, definitely. I think, everyone's stuck in the same situation. No one's really been in this situation before. And I think it's great, obviously different people on social media and different platforms like that, obviously finding ways to try and help any way they can, whether it be from, just entertaining people on social media or, different workout routines to help people try and stay healthy. Because obviously in a situation, it's important to try and keep your health up and, keep on a good track.
And what about, there's a lot of stuff about mental health as well, and people and players and all around the country or from different countries having to sort of spend a lot of time on their own. That can be difficult as well. So you finding yourself reaching out to some of the maybe younger players to make sure they're okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Obviously, everyone's, like I said before, no one's been in this situation before. And, it's tough for everyone to deal with, but everyone's in the same boat. And yeah, I think as maybe a more experienced player, just speaking to the younger lads, I've been speaking to Troy a little bit and, people like that, just making sure they're all right. And even for myself, just speaking to other people and not just trying to stay in my own little bubble here and just reaching out to people, making sure and trying to communicate with other people, whether it be through PlayStation or on the phone and different things like that.
Well, I saw your birthday celebrations. You just turned 24, Dele. We forget how young you are. I mean, that was that looked like a lot of fun on your own there, but you made the most of it, I must admit.
Yeah, I think it was obviously a little bit of fun, just trying to make a little bit of a joke of the situation and try and keep it lighthearted. But yeah, being stuck at home on your birthday wasn't the most ideal thing. But I made as much fun of it as I could.
Now, listen, well, I also want to just talk about something that you've done yourself, and I think I always still regard myself as a footballer. So when footballers get a bit of criticism, it hurts me as well because I know the good work that they do. And you've obviously set yourself up with an initiative as well, which is outstanding. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think you probably talk about the Magic Breakfast one. I think, like you said, as players, we do a lot that we maybe don't publicise and things like that. And there is obviously I'm doing things that I probably wouldn't publicise to help other people, but I think we're in a situation where we can help and, whether it be to raise awareness or, to use our platforms that we have. And we know we are such role models and things like that. And a lot of people look up to it. So just to try and help as much as we can. And, the Magic Breakfast, I think it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing charity and what they're doing, the work they're doing is obviously amazing. And situations like this, I've realised and seen how difficult it is for them to sort of keep it up. So, what I wanted to do obviously is help as much as I can in terms of donations and stuff like that, but also try and raise awareness about it because, they're feeding kids and kids that are in school that need it. And, something that I relied on a little bit when I was younger, when I was growing up in school, the sort of free school meals and things like that. And, what they're doing is taking that a step further and, helping the kids and for them to be so many kids to not be at school. It's obviously made their job a lot more difficult, but they're still doing it. And, yeah, I just wanted to help raise awareness and try and help out as much as I could with that.
No, that's brilliant, Dele. And I mean, right now is sometimes I feel that this is almost an opportunity. And obviously talking to you now, and there's a lot of players that we are probably taking a moment to realise, yeah, we do a great job. And obviously you entertain so many people, but the real stars are the people that, you know, the NHS and the frontline that are keeping us all safe. And it's almost a bit of a reality check for us all. So players like you helping out and doing things like you are is just fantastic.
Yeah, I think everyone realised how much they're helping, and you know, we can't thank them enough for the dedication they're doing and how much they're helping. And yeah, like you said, they deserve all the credit they're going to get. So,
and how can we find out more information about what you're doing, Dele? Is there a website or anything we can look at as well?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be promoting it as much as I can, and obviously they've got a website and stuff like that, and you know, I'll be putting it on my social media to try and help people follow it and help out as much as they can. So, yeah.
Well done on that, Dele. That's brilliant. So, I mean, also I want to ask you, how much you missing football right now?
A lot. I think obviously when it's like the end of the season and you have the break, it's a lot different because you're prepared for it. But when the season starts again, and you know, you obviously try and get as far as you can in all the competitions and try and get in the squad for the Euros and stuff, you have sort of like a long season planned in your head, and then when it just suddenly gets stopped, you know, of course you miss it straight away. And mentally, you know, you're still trying to stay focused because who knows what's going to happen. We want to finish the season, and you know, we don't know when that's going to happen, but we just have to mentally, you know, you're still switched on and still thinking about it every day. So it's hard to sort of not think about it. And yeah, I think everyone I spoke to is missing it a lot. So
absolutely. Well, certainly as fans, and you know, in my job as well, I can't wait for it to come back. But to a certain extent, what this might do, I think, is make people appreciate it even more, because we're so lucky to, you know, you're a young man, 24 years of age, playing the game at the top level. And I think sometimes I took football for granted. And I think this might make everyone go, wow, we are so lucky to do what we do. And you bet you can't wait to get back to it.
Definitely. I think it's a real eye-opener, not just for footballers, but for everyone. You know, we take everything for granted, I think. You know, even just being able to leave the house and go to training every day and do something that I love so much. You know, I'll always be grateful for it. And yeah, I think, like you said, this is obviously a real opener for everyone. So.
Now, listen, Dele, about your career as well. And I know you've obviously come in and talked, you've done some great work, but 24 years of age, the youngest midfield player to reach 50 goals. I mean, you've done some amazing things in your early career. And what's the greatest achievement you think you've had?
Yeah, there's been a lot of great moments. You know, obviously I'm still looking to keep improving and get them trophies as a team and stuff like that. But I think probably the World Cup and last year's Champions League was probably, the Champions League was one of the best and worst moments. But you know, I think it was a great achievement. Obviously disappointing not to go the full way and win it, but you know, the games we had and just the build up and you know, the whole experience was amazing. And the World Cup experience was amazing. I think obviously playing for your country is a huge honour, and to play in a World Cup like that, and you know, to achieve what we did, I think obviously the same, disappointed not to achieve more in it, but I think just the whole experience of the way the country come together and stuff like that, there were definitely two moments that I'll never forget.
Yeah, and just going back to your early career, because I remember watching a game on Sky. You'll remember it well, I've got no doubt at all. You must have been 18 years of age. And I was watching this little rascal in midfield, kicking everyone, running past people, shooting, assists, everything, playing for MK Dons against Man United in a League Cup game. And I thought, wow, who's this young man? Yeah. Oh, why has nobody signed him? And then you nearly signed for Liverpool. Then you obviously ended up at Tottenham, which is a brilliant move for you as well. I mean, what do you think back to that and what you've achieved? You must be so proud.
Yeah, it's you know, obviously like I said, I'm grateful for where I am, but you know, I want to keep going and keep heading in a good direction and keep improving and challenging myself. But yeah, there is a lot of good moments, and I was speaking to Jack Grealish because the other day, because I remember when a clip come up on my phone, because every clip that comes on football I've been watching because obviously you miss it so much. But I see a clip of it was my MK game against, I was playing for MK and he was playing for Notts County. And we were just chatting about it, and you know, obviously how far we both come, and you know, personally, obviously, to be playing in the Premier League, and every step I was sort of making at the time, when to move, and the decisions we made as not just myself, as the family and stuff. Obviously, is, you know, you do look back and think and be proud of the decisions we made, because you know, you don't want to have any regrets. But like I said, I just want to keep heading in the right direction, keep improving, and I'm not going to stop here. So.
No, well, I think one of the reasons I've always obviously thought you're a fantastic player, but I think one of the reasons why I've sort of kept a keen eye on you, because we had a similar sort of trajectory. I was at Bournemouth as a 17-year-old. I signed for Liverpool for a lot of money. That in itself brought a lot of pressure as well. You went to Tottenham and got into the first team straight away. Did you feel that sometimes that's the best way for a young player to progress and get into the first team?
Yeah, I think everyone's different, and everyone has different pathways and goes through different challenges in their career. I think it's difficult for me to say what's the right and wrong way to do it. I think everyone's different, and for me personally, I think the path I took, and obviously staying at MK and trying to get into the first team there, and not leaving straight away, and trying to achieve something there in terms of getting the club promoted and get as many games as I could under my belt, and then moving to a club in the Premier League. I thought it was the right time. But even just moving to the Premier League, obviously it was a dream of mine, but I didn't want to just go to any team that you can get lost in. I wanted to go to a team where the project of the club and the way the club was playing and the manager they had, and Tottenham just fit it all perfectly at the time. And obviously it turned out to be a great decision to go there, and to be here now and still be playing and enjoying it is it's good.
I've always been fascinated. I've never heard you talk about it, but I'm sure you must have done an interview. When you were 13, 14 years of age, were you what they say on the red carpet? Were you England schoolboys, or were big clubs looking at you, or were you a late developer?
No, I think I would say I wouldn't say I was a late developer. I was good when I was younger, but I think so. When it first started, I was just playing Sunday League, and I was enjoying it, and then MK Academy asked me to join when I was under 10s, I think it was. And the under 10s manager at MK was my Sunday League manager as well. And he asked me to come and sign for that. Well, do a 6-week trial. But I was just enjoying playing Sunday League. So I'd done like the first 2 training sessions, and they were playing Chelsea Academy at the weekend. And obviously this was all new to me because I was just playing Sunday League against my local teams. And Chelsea was such a massive club, and to have the chance of playing it, even as an academy boy, it was something I really wanted to do. And then I remember they said to me, because I'd only trained 2 days, I was like, oh, obviously you're not going to be travelling this is when I was 9 and 10, you're not going to be travelling, because obviously I hadn't done a week's training or whatever. And I was angry. I was like, so then I didn't go back to training again with them. Just carried on playing my Sunday League team. And after that, I joined the year after. I still had the same manager at my Sunday League team. And he said to me, I can come without doing a trial and stuff. So I just signed for MK then. And it all just started from there, really. Just enjoying playing. MK was my local team. But, at the time it was obviously massive. But, I was just enjoying playing football, really. And, just improving as a youngster. And I think just trying to score as many goals as I could. But, I think I was quite naturally talented, I'd say, when I was a kid.
Always a midfielder as well, Dele? Attacking midfielder or striker?
No, so I actually started as a striker. And then as I got a little bit older, everyone was growing and I was still really small. And it was my old manager, Dan Michichi. He made a decision, because obviously I was getting bullied off the ball, and what I could do when I was, 12, 13, I couldn't do when I was sort of 14, 15, because I was a lot smaller than everyone else. And everyone was a lot bigger. So then I moved back to number 10. And then I started playing when I was about 15. I started playing. We moved back again because he said I could get more space on the ball, and if you're playing CDM, obviously with 2 midfielders, you get a lot more space and try and create things from deep a lot more. Then I started playing CDM, and then obviously when I got to 16, 17, I started to hit a bit of a growth spurt and got a bit stronger, and just started moving higher up the pitch again. And then I was playing when I was at MK. I was sort of playing as a defensive 8 sort of player, midfielder. And then Poch, obviously, when I came to Tottenham, put me in the 10. So
give us your top 3 Premier League goals, Dele.
Top 3, I'd say, in terms of actual goal, the Crystal Palace one, just because, obviously, it's rare to score a goal like that.
Is that your best?
I'd say that's the best goal, but it's probably not my favourite goal, because...
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'd say the Chelsea one, either of the Chelsea ones at home, when I scored the 2 headers, just because of how much that game meant to the fans and to the players, and to obviously win the game. And then the third one, yeah, maybe United this year, maybe.
Yeah, that was a great goal. Talk us through that one, because I remember the first time I saw the goal against Crystal Palace. And if you talk about a goal in terms of level of difficulty, I mean, that's as tough as it gets. You know, the 2 touches and then the side volley, which is an incredibly difficult technique for most players. I mean, was that something that you worked on or thought, or it was just purely instinctive? No, the goal against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's moments like that when you can't really work on it that much, because you can't recreate that position and, you know, how quick the player comes at you and stuff. So it's all just instinct. And when it comes off, you know, I could have tried that maybe 20 times in training the next day and not done it. So it's, you know, you have to be in the moment and, you know, be connected to the game. And yeah, it just has to fall into place, and it did. So it was a great goal, and hopefully I can score more of them.
And in terms of your position, would you say, if I said to you that, like, you're picking a team, you're the manager, you're player manager actually, Dele, where are you picking yourself? Where do you see yourself as where you can be most productive?
I'd say probably off the striker, number 10. Yeah.
You just work up alongside Harry, because I remember a few years ago under Mauricio, you had an incredible relationship, lots of goals and an amazing amount of assists. It was almost telepathic at times with you two.
Yeah, Harry's a player that makes it very easy for you. But as a 10, you know, obviously a player like myself, when I like to get in behind and, you know, make movements off the striker and, you know, off the wingers, and try and make, not just base my movements off myself, but off the team. And, you know, I think it's important, obviously, if you have a whole team where no one's running in behind or trying to stretch the game, it can, you know, no one's going to get in space. So to play with a striker like Harry, who's so intelligent, and, you know, we both know what runs and movements we like to make, and I know if I give him the ball in the right position, he's going to score. So it's, you know, he's a joy to play with. But yeah, I think we've had some good years together, and even the other players like Sonny, Lucas, and, you know, the attacking players, and Eriksen, obviously he's moved on now, but having players like that and playing alongside them, and, you know, knowing each other so well, it was a great experience.
Yeah, and you mentioned Troy Parrott earlier on. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen clips of him. He looks like he's going to be one for the future.
Yeah, I hope so. He's he's a great young lad, and he works hard, and he's got an amazing talent. And to be in a position where he is, where he can learn off a striker like Harry Kane, is obviously amazing for him. I know it's difficult because, obviously, speaking to him at training and stuff, as a youngster, you want to be playing games, and, you know, it's just about making the right decision for his career as well, because obviously with Harry, he can learn a lot from him, but as well, he's going to want to play games. So yeah, I think it's just all about timing and just making sure he doesn't rush anything, but he's definitely got a lot of talent. So
yeah, and you obviously, Jose was there for a little while and made an impact. Obviously, had a few injuries. It's been difficult for the team, but are you looking forward to working with him long term as well?
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously we had amazing experience on the Poch, and, you know, it came to an end, but to have a new experience with a new manager, it's you know, it's exciting. And yeah, I've known him quite well now already. Obviously, we're going to get to spend some more time together, and this has sort of interrupted it. But, you know, he seems like a great guy, and obviously he's got a lot of experience. So to learn from him it's going to be great.
Has he been in touch much during this period? Is he ringing the players? Is he keeping in touch via Zoom or phone calls?
Yeah, we've been WhatsApping, and obviously he's in when we're doing the sessions as well. He's on the Zoom as well. So yeah, I think we've all stayed in touch with him, and yeah, I think it's just about the whole team staying together in this moment. Yeah. And when we come back, just being ready, and, you know, we have to make sure we keep our fitness up and, you know, stay together. And we don't want to come into the end of the season and improve from where we left it, because we know we weren't playing as well as we should have, and we had some disappointing results. So we just need to stay together in this moment, and yeah, just make sure we go and finish the season as strong as we can.